What's up YouTube, Selfie on Super Saf TV, and this is the much awaited, the much anticipated camera comparison, Super Saf TV style, between the iPhone 6s and the Samsung Galaxy S6. So in the usual style, we'll be looking at both the front and rear facing cameras and at images as well as video too. Do also look out for the audio icon in the corner of the screen, and that will indicate to you which device the audio is coming from too. So we're currently indoors, we've got good light, and we're using the front-facing cameras on both devices. One thing to bear in mind is that the S6 has a 1440p front-facing camera in terms of the video resolution. The iPhone 6s still has 720p. So if we switch here, this is 100%. This video is exported at 1080p. So you can see that we can crop in much further on the Samsung Galaxy S6 compared to the iPhone 6s. Just something to bear in mind. So now we're going to head outside. It's a beautiful day here in Leicester. So we're going to try out the rear-facing cameras, and then we'll also do lots of different scenarios, so some low-light tests as well. So do hit that thumbs up button and let's head outside. So we're now outdoors with both devices. It's quite a nice day here in Leicester, for a change that is, and we're filming at 4K from both devices because both are capable of filming at up to 4K resolution. Now this video is exported out at 1080p. So we can crop in and see the full resolution and detail. So this is the sort of quality difference you can expect at 100%. Now let's just have a bit of a walk at 4K and see what the optical image stabilization is like. But we will do a separate test just now. Now we're on the Samsung Galaxy S6. So I'm just going to take a bit of a walk, and this is handheld with both hands. So you can sort of see what the optical image stabilization is like. Now we are on the iPhone 6s. This does not have optical image stabilization. So just to see how it compares, and again, we are using both hands on here to make it as fair as possible. Now just quickly on the iPhone 6s Plus. So we're doing the exact same test on the iPhone 6s Plus, just so you get a bit of an idea of the differences, because you do have optical image stabilization here. So now we're indoors with the iPhone 6s, and we're just testing out the autofocus in relatively low light, just to see how well it does going from a subject that's a bit far to something that's quite close up. Now switched over to the Samsung Galaxy S6, same lighting, and just going from something that's close to something that's further back, same lighting, and this is the sort of results that you can expect. Alright, now this is just a quick side-by-side just to show that we are in the exact same lighting, just in case somebody has something to say about that. So that was the video. Now let's have a look at some images. So in the usual Super Saf TV style, I'm not going to tell you which image is from which device initially. That way you can decide which one you like better without having any bias. And then I will do the reveal so you know which device, which image is from. And that will help you make a better decision as to which you like better overall. So initially starting off with some selfies. Everybody loves selfies these days. So we've got good light here, and both of them seem to be doing a good job overall. The right hand side is obviously a lot wider, so you know, for your group selfies that would be a little bit more beneficial, but I prefer the angle of the left hand side image, and I prefer the details a little bit more on the right hand side image. The right hand side image is of the S6, and we've got the iPhone 6s on the left hand side. Now let's move on to a Super Saf style car selfie. This is something that I take a lot. For me here, it's definitely the left hand side image that's a lot better. Colors are more accurate and a lot more detail. On the right hand side image, seems to be blown out, especially towards the cheek area. And the colors are also a bit too much on the warmer side. Now we've got the S6 on the left hand side, and we've got the iPhone 6s on the right hand side. So I would give the win here to the S6. I think it's definitely doing a better job overall. Now moving on to an indoor image in low light, and you probably already know which one's which because of the angle. You can see that the right hand side image has a much wider angle, which is of the S6, and then you've got the iPhone 6s on the left hand side. You've got a bit more detail on the left hand side image, and the right hand side image is a little bit soft, but this one is very difficult to call because the left hand side image is quite grainy compared to the right hand side image. So I'll let you decide which one you like better. I'm sort of on a draw here. Now one thing that the iPhone 6s does have is a front facing flash. Now this isn't your traditional flash. It just illuminates the screen to give you some more light, and here you can see it does brighten up the image a lot more, so that definitely is beneficial. And if you are somebody who takes a lot of selfies in low light, then that might be useful. Now enough of selfies, let's look at some rear facing camera shots. So here we've got some flowers in very good light, both images looking awesome here. Slight differences in terms of the colors. The right hand side image It's a little bit warmer. I do like the right hand side images. Color's a little bit better, but nothing in it really. I think that is going to come down to your personal preference. We've got the S6 on the left hand side and we've got the iPhone 6s on the right hand side. Now going in 100%, you can see we've got plenty of detail on both images, and that is definitely great to see. I think both are doing a great job maintaining that detail here. Now another outdoor image in a good light. I prefer the colors on the left hand side image here. I think they are slightly more blown out on the right hand side image. We've got the S6 on the right hand side. We've got the iPhone 6s on the left hand side. Now an outdoor wide image. Again, I think both are doing a great job here. Lots of detail in both images. If you look at the sky, I kind of prefer the left hand side image a little bit better. Once again, I think that's personal preference. Both are doing a good job. You've got the iPhone 6s on the left hand side, and you've got the Samsung Galaxy S6 on the right hand side. Now moving on to an indoor shot in good light, and I don't promote any of these brands. This is just so you can look at the colors and judge for yourself which is more accurate. I prefer the left hand side image here a little bit better. I think it's just got a little bit more contrast and it just is a little bit more pleasing. You've got the S6 on the left hand side. Got the iPhone 6s on the right hand side. Now moving on to an indoor image in relatively low light, I think both are doing a decent job here. I can see more detail on the left hand side image. I think it's doing a little bit of a better job in terms of maintaining that detail, although the right hand image looks a tad brighter. We've got the S6 on the left hand side, we've got the iPhone 6s on the right hand side. Putting the light even further down, so lights are all off and we've simply got whatever's creeping through the curtains. I can see that both are doing okay, although I do prefer the S6 here because you do have a little bit more details. If you look at the text, I think it is ever so slightly sharper on the S6, and the colors are also a little bit better maintained on the S6. Now I did try with the iPhone 6s Plus as well to see if the optical image stabilization helps at all, and you can see that it does help a little bit because the text is a little bit more sharp here, but I still do prefer the S6. Now using the flash on both here, I do prefer the left hand side image. I think the colors are a little bit better compared to the right hand side image. We've got the iPhone 6s on the left hand side. We've got the Samsung Galaxy S6 on the right hand side. So there we have it, the much awaited camera comparison between the iPhone 6s and the Samsung Galaxy S6. I think overall both did a great job when it came to the rear facing cameras. Very close, but I think the S6 does get the slight edge because of the optical image stabilization, which helps for video as well as for low light. Now the audio as well, I did find better on the Samsung Galaxy S6. I just found it a little bit more richer and louder, and that's because you've got stereo sound here and you still have mono sound on the iPhone 6s, so you can go back and listen to that if you want. In terms of the front facing cameras, I did prefer the S6 overall. I think you had more detail and it didn't blow out the highlights as much as the iPhone 6s did. And plus you've got 1440p video recording from the front facing camera versus just 720p on the iPhone 6s. So I would give the front facing camera edge to the S6. In terms of the low light flash, I think that does go to the iPhone 6s. That True Tone dual LED flash definitely helps. Now that's what I think anyway. What do you think? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Let me know which one you preferred overall. And I do post lots of images on Instagram. My Instagram is SuperSafTV. So do go ahead and give me a follow on there if you do want to see lots of samples from lots of different devices. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. As you can tell, these camera comparisons are very difficult to do and take a lot of time. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then make sure you have subscribed. I've got plenty more content coming up on here. You can also see my previous related video here in the annotations, or stay in touch with me over social media. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSafTV, and I'll see you next time.